Yeah.
Anyway, Jeremy and Joe, good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. It's going to be warmer today. We could even see rain.
There was a 30-degree increase in Buffalo from yesterday to today.
Yeah.
Just at this time. And, I mean, if you look around, Pat Hammer posted a map with this. Like, Dunkirk was a 42-degree increase.
Wow. From
yesterday to today, and everybody else is right around there. So, yeah.
We
could get to 40 today.
Maybe 40. I got 39, but, of course, margin of error there.
Round it up.
Yeah, so it's going to be a little warmer today. Maybe some of the snow will melt, for better or for worse. We'll see what that brings. But, high about 39, 40 degrees. We will, of course, take you up to 10 o'clock today, get you off and going on what you're doing. We'll talk with Sal at 7:30. I reached out to Sal to talk about trade ideas for the Bills because I saw he was part of a conversation there with Matt Perino of the Shell podcast. They're talking about the idea of Dion Dawkins, maybe as a trade candidate. And I feel like Ed Oliver's name is mentioned occasionally. This team just fired its head coach in a bit of a surprise move. So it almost feels like the entire offseason should be a lot of everything's on the table kind of conversations. So I texted Sal. I'm like, all right, you want to come on and talk to us about this idea of trading Dawkins? Is it feasible? What's the cap look like? His age, and on and on and on. I have not really thought about it at all. For a team that's in the spot that they are in, to me, trading the left tackle seems like it would not be a likely move. But like I said, they fired the coach and made a replacement there, which was a surprise. So I'm not saying that McDermott is the new Gretzky was traded, but I have to keep everything on the table because that was a shocking maneuver. And they did it. So anything's possible.
I mean, anything like that, like an unexpected big money contract move like that from somebody who's been here and meant a lot. It could be Dawkins. It could be Oliver. It could be anybody like that. That would have to start with you have an intention of using the money you're saving on something specific. Right? Like, you're not getting rid of these guys to get rid of these guys. I don't think.
No.
There is something you want to do this offseason, and you don't have enough room for it, and that's a way to create $15 million, $20 million, whatever the number is for both of them. I'm sure you're spreading it out. The thing that just seems like a weird, with Dawkins, less with Oliver, less with, Dawson Knox, other guys they can move around contracts with, is what am I doing to replace that guy? And their O-line has been great, and I moved the most important position off my O-line away for whatever reason you want to do it, and then aren't I investing something really significant immediately right around to replace him? Aren't I spending a first-round pick? Or aren't I spending something money-wise, right? You're not just plugging in. That's not I plug in Alec Anderson type of position, is it?
I don't think so. Alec Anderson is going to be, how we...
Or like the tackle equivalent of Alec Anderson. I was gonna say, Ryan Vandemark is not going to be my left tackle next year,
I don't think so. I was about to say, Alec Anderson is about to become the... How many days in a row has A.J. Epinesa been traded? Anderson is going to start every spot on this offensive line.
He is going to,
over the course of the offseason.
And tight end.
Right.
Six offensive linemen.
That's right. Yeah, I guess everything's on the table, and I'm...
Like, Oliver, I think, is a really interesting discussion because I don't know if he really fits. Where does he fit in a Jim Leonard defense if they're going to play, something close to what they did in Denver and in Wisconsin? Like, he almost becomes less of a defensive tackle, right, and more of the 3-4 defensive end, kind of, just body type-wise. I think he fits better for that, and is that really within his skill set? Is that something he's ever really done before at all? I mean, we know he really has not done that here. So, he's a guy I think they could spread the money out, right, and save, and he's going to be 30, so age-wise, I mean, he's fine. But, he, to me, is someone that is maybe more likely for an idea like this that would save you money.
I'm looking at a clip right now from 2023, which had Ed Oliver way out in the 4-eye spot. Which, the film guys will tell us all about that. I would defer to them. Yeah, he's way out wide, where you'd see, not quite Myles Garrett in a wide 9, but way out there. Anthony Prohaska from Cover 1 from November 2023 in a game against the Bengals. So.
If you moved, I think any of these guys will come at the old post June 1 designation, because then you get to spread it.
Right.
Any move of Ed Oliver that comes after June 1st or that would have that designation, you would save $14.7 million. Okay. Which you could do something with.
After June 1. But what's there to spend money on after June 1? There's sometimes some stuff.
Right.
But usually it's going to be a trade. You restructure Oliver, you can save about 8 to 9. That's a good number.
Mm-hmm.
Same with Dawkins. I can restructure those guys and save money and move that money down the line.
Doesn't that end up being their rookie money anyway, though? You could spend it before and just say, I'm getting 14 to spend on my rookies after the June 1st date.
Sure, but
they've done that in the past.
But rookies never cost that much. Like you don't need that much for rookies.
What do you need for rookies?
I don't know.
You need like 10.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe that's right.
I think this happened with Trey White a couple years ago. It's they can't use it till June 1. And then they kind of did. They just waited on other things. Like the stuff, they want a couple million left over to save, to have flexibility, and the rookie contracts and guys they sign late. Like I think that ends up getting used one way or another.
I guess. And then you're talking about spending it before June 1.
Yeah, because you're getting more for the extra stuff you need. Like how many times is Bean talk about at the podium, like, we've got this amount of room, but I need that for operating costs or whatever, or like this stuff, injuries. And if I'm getting a $14 million check in June, then you could spend more money in the spring.
What they might be able to use is just $14 million going into the season so they can make a trade and not worry about, we don't have a team that's going to retain money. I just don't think either of these players, and not that you're saying this, like they both seem like long shots to me. And I don't know who the biggest name that could move is, but
Knox.
Knox is to me the litmus test of all of it. Knox is how serious are they about a lot of things, because he could be a restructure, he could be a cut, he could be an extend, and he could be a ask him to take a pay cut, which is a lot 4 different ways to get there. And when we talked with Brandon Bean last week, he suggested there might be some players they ask to take a pay cut and then build it in through incentives, something that they did with Matt Milano. And to me, that's Dawson Knox, like a 29-year-old. He'll turn 30 during the season. Fabric of the team, tight, kind of knit locker room, tight guy with everybody.
Yep.
That cap hit is, of course, not going to stand. Something will change with that. The question is what? And does he want to stay? Would he take less money to do it? Would he take less money and build in incentives and think like, yeah, sure, I'll get my catches. It's still going to be an offense that uses me to some degree. I'm not quite sure. When you're building in those not likely to be earned incentives that don't count against the cap, but you could hit, he could probably have some that are not that difficult to hit. Like last year, Knox finishes with 4 touchdowns and 36 catches. Like, could you?
Yep. And that was an increase for him, wasn't it?
Right. Yeah, you put in. It was his biggest year since 2022
when he signed his contract.
Since pre-Kincaid.
Yeah.
Which it was a reminder that he could play.
Yeah. Nobody thinks he's going into the year with the 3rd highest cap hit for a tight end in the NFL next year, which is what he is at the moment. Like nobody thinks that that's going to happen.
Right.
Like he has a higher cap hit than George Kittle. Like that's not going to hold.
No, that doesn't seem like it's going to hold. Yeah. Anyway, we'll get to that with Sal at 7:30. Chris Trapasso at 8:00. Draft expert. One of the friends of the station. You hear him all over the station, of course, over the years. Chris Trapasso, saw him yesterday doing a full-on film breakdown of Texas A&M receiver Casey Concepcion. So we'll talk with Chris about all these ideas and whether it's the defensive end class or receivers or the type of defensive lineman this team will need. Linebacker will be high on the list. Safety will be high on the list.